morning. Welcome to 4 by 8 Paper Stuff. This is still Beth. This is still journaling, and we're working in our river journals. So let's get all of our stuff together and let's get to the Amazon.
This is a magazine ad, this orange part, and I covered up what wording that was going to be in my way. This is from a Flow magazine. I've had her for, about a year. She has frogs on her dress. I don't know what intrigued her about me, what about her intrigued me, but it did. And she felt like she needed to go to the Amazon, and she felt like she was already dressed for it because she's in frogs. So I painted this over where the letters were. I added it and I covered up the empty spaces with orange polka dots to replicate the orange polka dots here. And I did not want to cut her, so I turned her into a tip-in, and then I put some paper over it, and I made my own frog that kind of looks like the frogs on her dress. On her dress. And then I just wrote a thing about the bugs and how big they are and how numerous they are and how strong they are and how creepy they are and how pretty they are because they're beautiful colors. So, why did I show you that? Oh, so today we're going to still talk about animals, but what other animals are in the Amazon? Besides parrots and monkeys and amazing birds, they're in the water, and they eat piranhas. I don't know. I just wanted to do piranhas. I've even been thinking about them for several days. See? Somehow I started with this picture, and yesterday in the woods by that little creek that leads to the Broad River, I painted this one, and I was trying to make it, this appeals to me, I think, because, and my sister-in-law said this, because these are geometric shapes, which is what I deal with when I quilt. And I love the color combination here. I was trying to make it look like, you know, some of the Cinque Terre or Tuscany villages that kind of roll down into the village and into the water, which I guess that would be the Cinque Terre, not Tuscany. But, or onto Lake Como, you know, maybe this is George Clooney's house. I don't know. But I never did get the colors the way I wanted them to make it look more Mediterranean. This was the first one. This was the second one. And this one I was just trying to make it look like the Amazon, like little huts and trees and the Amazon, right? And then I painted, Then I painted piranhas. Now I kind of, in this one, worked with more shading and getting the edges dark. Let me take a drink. It's just a pure dry cough. I can't get rid of it. Anyhow, it has evolved into this, which this I like. Now this little house here is yucky. That's a technical term. But I love how the trees turned out, and I'm able to get with a darker color of what I'm using, and or black at times, add it to the edge and then take it off, and you're left with a little bit of an outline or shading or whatever. And this is kind of illustration, whatever you want to call playing. And I think this is a village along the Amazon, right? Right. Okay, so it might end up in here. But today, we're talking fish. So, I'm going to do a voiceover. Hopefully today's video, other than the fish, I don't know. I wrote a little bit of stuff about piranhas off of Wikipedia, which to me is fine for, I know it's not earth-shattering truths, but for my purposes, it's fine. No, we're not going to the beach. Our friends that own the beach house, they rent it, but this was a free weekend, so they grabbed it, but their grandchildren came instead. So, it is what it is. It's okay. You'll just maybe get long videos for a week. I don't know. Maybe I'll make them all this week. I don't know. I do like the longer videos, personally, because I sit here and watch somebody else process or whatever. and not always watching, but having them in the background, talking about art, talking about a technique, whatever, keeps me the energy going. And that and coffee and a cough, just a dry cough, and I can't control it.
Okay, so I'm working on my fish, my piranha. Um, and of course, this is an illustrated version of a fish. It's not exact. I did do it in pencil, so I kind of have a way to go with my paintbrush rather than trying to draw with a paintbrush, which I cannot do at all. And they're little short, squatty fish, kind of like me, squatty and short. But anyhow, I liked how they turned out. I take it to a different direction, as you will see in just a sec.
I'm going to go horizontal instead of vertical. And I'm going to write something here about, well, I could put it here and have like a palm tree hanging over. I don't know. I need to contemplate the situation.
While I contemplate the situation, I'm drawing an outline around the fish and giving them their trademark teeth. And this is just a micron fine liner pen. Ugh, I'm still really thinking. I want to do a palm tree, but I don't know what I want to do. A palm tree overshadowing the bank and the piranha swimming underneath. I'm not sure yet. Really not sure. So let's just put more detail on our piranhas. So I have these two books right here, Jane Davenport and Mimi Bondi's, and they're both paper books. And Mimi Bondi is very, very bright, as you can see, but that kind of is what I do. Now, hers are double-sided, which is a shame, but I have been known to photocopy it and use the other side so I don't lose it. These two screamed palm trees to me, right? Right. So I thought, okay, maybe not a palm tree, maybe this beautiful, fanciful flower, but it's going to take a while to cut this crazy thing out. And I deconstruct the flower and reconstruct it as if it were hanging over the bank of the Amazon and piranhas swimming underneath it in the water. Lots of maneuvering of the leaves of it kind of is one of those little plants that you blow on and the little feathers fly in the wind and you make a wish. Dandelion, dandelion. But it's an Amazon dandelion, so it can hang over the banks of the Amazon, right? And piranhas fly underneath it, swim underneath it. I make my background with the polka dots, fanciful polka dots, and fit that in. I'm making a stem for the fanciful dandelion, and these are just the scraps. And I, I really like how this has turned out. Is it plant correct, as in nature, how nature created it? Probably not. I don't know if there's fanciful dandelions along the Amazon, but sometimes I mean this isn't a real trip, so why can't I be fanciful with my flowers too, right? Right. I really really like this, and I love collage more and more. I don't know if this is actually, oh my goodness, I just cut up all my piranhas. Yep, I did. I did. Uh I like how it turned out.
A palm tree has turned into a fanciful flower that is in the Mimi Bondi book that she's in Australia, and this is on Amazon, and it's just a paper pack of hers, like the Jane Davenport paper pack. It's a lot of bright, and that's her aesthetic, and a lot of times that's mine, more often than not. And I went and pilfered through it till I found blues and greens that would transport a palm tree to my Amazon. And I knew I liked this beautiful, fanciful flower. I'm sure she has videos on YouTube. And I'm sure it was a stencil that she's made and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of like a plant hanging over. Now, I do think I need a little bit of a stem for that leaf. A plant hanging over the Amazon, hanging over the bank into the water while the fish swim by. Right? Right. My piranhas swim by. Now, I'm going to have an issue with the spine here because that's going to hang over the spine because this is where the spine's going to be. I'm doing it horizontal. This is where the spine's going to be. This is going to hang over and this is going to hang over. And I'm not sure how I'm going to work on that yet. I did some fine liner to my fish. They're just cartoonish. And I ended up cutting them out. I kind of like how they work better away from what I had, their original home. I'm taking them to the Amazon. They were in a pet store. Now I'm transporting them to the Amazon where they belong, right? It does say that they do not attack unless hungry. So, good Lord, if you go into the Amazon, bring food to feed the piranhas so they don't get hungry and want to eat you. They're so tiny though. The average is 5 to 10 inches. They have single row of teeth on top and bottom jaws, tightly packed and interlocking, used for rapid puncture and shearing. That's danger enough for me. If stressed, they will attack humans, but not normally. And splashing does attract them, kind of like a shark. Don't splash in the Amazon. I've told all my boat mates, don't splash. Okay, I think they're glued on here. This is super thin paper, like Hobonichi paper, but it's mixed media, right? Right. I love this. Am I thrilled with the horizontal? No, not really. But it'll work. Whatever it takes to make my piranhas happy, right? Right. Okay, that's how it's going to go. And this paper is a tad narrower than the length of the page, but that's okay. I'm alright with all that. I'll attach a final picture here because it's going to take me a while to maneuver these edges. I like it. I like it a lot.
Final product? Check. I really like it. I made a tiny tag of just that says piranha in pink so it stood out. So thanks for watching. Check out my Instagram picture for a better close-up, and I will be back here tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. See you tomorrow.